Imagine a river, but not the kind you've ever seen. A river flowing, heavy and relentless, carrying massive ships not on the ground, not in the sea, but high above, suspended in the air on a mountain. At first, it sounds like science fiction or a hallucination. Yet this is real. Built entirely by human ingenuity, steel, and concrete, it's a marvel that has left engineers around the world both awestruck and speechless. China has created something that defies expectation. A river in the sky, where enormous ships glide as if floating on a cloud. This isn't nature's work. It's a creation of human vision and ambition. At the heart of this feat is a colossal lift system, capable of hoisting thousands of tons of water and the massive vessels it carries vertically, hundreds of meters into the sky. The question everyone asks, why? Why build such a mind-bending structure? How did engineers carve through a mountain, raise a river 200 meters into the air, and craft a system that some call a masterpiece of engineering, while others see sheer madness? The answer begins with a problem: a staggering difference in height between the river's surface and the valley below. For traditional locks, moving a ship up this 200-meter gap could take hours or even an entire day. For a country racing towards speed and efficiency, that was unacceptable. China needed a solution, one that was safe, fast, energy efficient, and revolutionary. And that is when the daring plan took shape. The mountain in the way was massive, cruel, unyielding. Simply going over it wasn't an option. Instead, engineers decided to go through it. Inside the mountain, a symphony of controlled explosions and relentless machinery carved out space. Tons of rock were removed, day and night, until the cavern began to take shape. A living mountain, hollowed out, ready to host towers, lifts, control rooms, and water channels. Every bolt, every foundation, every connection had to be perfect. Even a millimeter's mistake could turn this engineering dream into catastrophe. Beneath it all, a foundation of steel and concrete, dug 50 meters deep, anchored the structure, holding the mountain itself in place. Once the base was secure, construction truly began. 3 massive lift towers slowly rose from the mountain's chest, climbing upwards like self-lifting factories. Each tower advanced 3 meters a day, together, in perfect synchronization, a ballet of logistics and engineering. And the river above? It slowly began to flow, inch by inch, until the unimaginable became reality. A river moving through the sky, carrying ships over a mountain, as though gravity had been rewritten. But even as this engineering marvel came to life, a chilling question lingered in every engineer's mind. What happens when a storm hits? When the river swells beyond expectation? When the machinery, this giant heart of steel and concrete, faces its ultimate test? Because one misstep now could turn this floating river into a catastrophe the world has never seen. And that's exactly what we're about to uncover. As the structure climbed ever higher, the sense of danger became almost tangible. At a height of 100 meters, the winds battered the towers with a fury that could turn even the smallest tremor into a disaster. Every weld, every batch of concrete, every single measurement was inspected with a precision far beyond ordinary construction. Engineers were painfully aware that even a tiny miscalculation, a single centimeter in the foundation, could translate into meters of misalignment at the very top, with catastrophic consequences. By the time the towers reached their full height, 200 meters above the valley, they no longer resembled buildings. They seemed almost alive, a seamless extension of the mountain itself, as if human hands and natural forces had conspired to carve an entirely new peak. But this was only the beginning. The most daring challenge lay ahead, suspending a flowing river across these towers, hundreds of meters above the ground, with massive ships moving across it. Below, colossal pillars were driven deep into the valley floor. each engineered to bear the unimaginable weight of water and steel. Piece by piece, the river's skeletal steel frame was hoisted skyward, battling howling winds and vertigo-inducing heights. Every joint, every seam, was carefully designed to expand under the summer heat, contract under winter frost, and yet remain completely watertight. Any leak, no matter how tiny, could spell disaster. But the river needed a heart, a mechanism capable of lifting the waterway and the vessels it carried in one fluid, controlled motion. Enter the 7,000-ton steel tub. Ordinary cranes couldn't approach it. Instead, a network of advanced strand jacks gripped it, inching it upward with painstaking care. One wrong move, one slight imbalance, and the entire Sky River could have collapsed in an instant. The operation was considered one of the most perilous feats in modern engineering. Finally, after weeks of relentless effort, the tub reached its final resting place. It was locked into position permanently. Then came the intricate dance of power and balance. Motors, massive gearboxes, thousands of meters of steel cables, and a colossal counterweight ensured that the enormous system stayed perfectly poised. Sensors monitored every microsecond, measuring weight, speed, and vibrations, while computerized systems made instantaneous adjustments to keep the operation flawless. The moment of truth arrived. A single press of a button, and the tub began to rise. Slowly, then, with growing momentum, thousands of tons of water, and the first ship lifted meter by meter 10, 50, and finally, the full 200 meters. No jolts, no tremors. Pure, seamless motion. Then came the release. Water surged into the suspended river, flowing flawlessly, not a drop lost. And then, the moment that left the world breathless. The first ship sailed into the Sky River, gliding across its surface, reaching the upper level in mere minutes, a journey that once took hours, even days. It was a triumph, a proof that human will, precision, and courage can transform the impossible into reality. Yet, not everyone celebrated. Critics denounced the project as dangerously expensive, a reckless gamble with nature itself. But for others, it was a glimpse of the future, a symbol of what can be achieved when ambition meets ingenuity. Today, dozens of ships traverse this sky-high river every day, silently, effortlessly, propelled not by magic, but by sheer engineering brilliance. But there remains an unspoken fear. What happens when the unexpected strikes? A storm, larger than anything anticipated? A sudden mechanical failure? A critical miscalculation at the very heart of this leviathan? Because in that instant, the river that seems to defy gravity, the marvel of human achievement suspended high above the earth, could transform into a catastrophic, unstoppable disaster. And that is a story we are only beginning to unravel. A story where every second counts, and where the next chapter could change everything we thought we knew about human ambition and the price of playing with nature itself.